Oh, hello friends! How is everybody today? And welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee. I went on a haul today. I went to the Amish store. I've been running errands and playing all day. It's been beautiful out. It has been about between 37 and 40 degrees the last couple days. And I go out to take care of the chickens and I just open the door and let them go. They never wander too far away because I don't think they like, walking in the snow too well. Anyway, so they peck around. They'll find a bald patch in the yard, a bare spot in the yard, and they'll peck around there and scratch around. And I just leave the door open and they go back in a little bit. But, yep, I got them all taken care of. I made them some of their organic noodles that I bought them. And cleaned out their water barrel. And, well, I do that every other day, and I give them fresh water daily. But, yeah, they're doing good. I can't wait till spring when I can let them out and hopefully build a fence so that they got a little area. I'd love to have a chicken tractor, but two reasons. One, I think I got too many chickens. I'd be hauling it all around the yard, too much, and I don't know how to build one. Ha, plain and simple. Anyway, I went on a haul because my mother, God bless her heart, I just love her to death. She wants me to start making her sourdough bread and pumpernickel bread. And she wants me to use my grandma's recipes. So I had to go get that. And then I just got a couple of extra odds and ends just because I wanted. I've been putting my a nice little trail mix together, a nice healthy trail mix with no sugar added, the dark cocoa that's unsweetened, and nuts and walnuts and pecans and some dried apricots and sunflower kernels. So I went and I picked all that stuff up, and I got the sunflower kernels here. Oh, let's see, let me move that aside. I got, it helped with my glasses on. I got the little miniature dark chocolate mini, whatever they're called, chocolate chips. And then I got some dark chocolate raisins. I mean, I don't graze on them. I just put a little bit in my trail mix. Just because the dark chocolate is just loaded with antioxidants. So a little bit each day is good for you. I mean, you can't graze out in the candy store on it, but a little bit in your trail mix is healthy for you. And then I picked up pumpkin seeds, which are also fantastic for you. So I got a real nice, healthy trail mix. And then I already had the pecans and the walnuts and, all the other goodies that I put in there. The apricots I got from my mother. So with that being said, I got stone ground whole wheat flour, and it's like 50 cents a pound. Well, it was a decent price. I only paid $2.50 for big bags like this, so I was pretty happy about that. And I got 1, 2, 3 big bags of that. So that's going to be for some of my sourdough bread. Now I'm going to do videos on that because I've done sourdough starter many times using regular, all-purpose flour, a little bit of yeast and water, and some sugar to feed it. And I've been very successful with it. But she wants me to use my grandma's recipe, and that is called a potato flake sourdough starter. You use potato flakes, and I'll do a video on it because it's really nice. It makes a beautiful starter. So with that being said, I got a whole wheat pie and pastry flour, and I thought that'd be good when I make pies and biscuits and stuff like that. Then for the pumpernickel, I got a nice medium rye meal, a pumpernickel flour. It's medium rye flour. It's nice, and I got 2 bags of that, and those were 59 cents a bag, so they weren't too bad, considering it's a good healthy bread to eat. And my mom's just trying to she does, I don't want to say a special diet. She because y'all know she's fighting cancer, and she's almost got it beat. Wow, she's come a long way, I'll tell you. Considering 3 years ago, when they diagnosed my mother with cancer, she had bone cancer, brain cancer, and lung cancer. And they gave her about 3 to 4 months to live. And then they told her if they did some chemo, they could probably prolong her for 6 to 8 months tops. So with that, my mother is such a strong, ambitious, she's a go-getter woman. She's just been healthy and vibrant all her life. And she said, you know what? Nobody's going to put an expiration date on my forehead. She says, I'm going to do my best to beat this. And, I mean, the odds were against her. She had her diagnosis, in case there's any of you out there that do have cancer or are familiar with it, she had a non-small cell lung cancer, but it was a squamous cell, which if you have cancer or you know of cancer, you know that's a very aggressive cancer. But anyway, she's almost got it beat. And she's doing immunotherapy. Yes, she did do some chemotherapy, but now she's doing the immunotherapy. And she's been on that for almost 2 years now, because she only did chemo. It almost killed her. Oh my God, the chemo was terrible. But she wound up with 6 months into the chemo, she wound up with a chemical pneumonitis, and she thought it was the beginning of her end. She thought it was her cancer, but ultimately it wasn't. Make a long story short, she wound up with a chemical pneumonitis, which is a pneumonia, and they wound up draining like 7 liters of fluid off her lungs. And she spent a week in a hospital. She was good. And then they started her on the immunotherapy, and it's just been wonderful for her. She's 75. Don't beat me, Mom, for telling her age, but she's 75, beautiful. She's getting healthy, and she still works 2 days a week, 10-hour shifts. She loves it. So she's doing good. But anyway, she found a really good way to eat to beat disease. And she found this book through all her researches and all her studies. She found this book, and it is called Eat to Beat Disease. And I believe the gentleman, he won a Pulitzer Prize. His name is Dr. William Lee or William Lee. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. Fantastic book. So just a heads up to some of you, I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just telling you what she does. So if you're out there and you're fighting cancer and you're diligently endeavoring to discover or find, research a good diet, Eat to Beat Disease. Just Google it and read it. It's fantastic. So anyway, with that, it tells you in this book that my mom's going to start following this way of life, this eating pattern. It tells you to eat pumpernickel bread or sourdough bread. And that's pretty much your only 2 choices. So that's why I got this spread here, because I bake everything. I love my family, and I will bake my mother bread till the cows come home, if that's what she wants. So that's what we're doing. And I also got, leave my specs. I also got dark rye flour. 2 nice bags of the dark rye flour. So I think between all that, I'm going to get her a good start with some bread. She'll be able to freeze some of it, to keep it fresh. And I also got some spelt flour, because I want to make some, I found a recipe. Now, I've never made that bread before. It's called Vitality bread. And I've never made it before, but it calls for the spelt flour. This stuff, friends, is pricey. This spelt flour, most of my bags here are like anywhere between $2 and $3. This one is $1.84. Nothing that's going to break you. This, on the other hand, was $9.45 for this. It's $1.99 a pound. It is pricey, so I guess I'll use it sparingly, but I'll use it for my mom's bread because it is good. And if you're not sure what spelt flour is, without being real technical, I'm not going to say because I'm not quite sure, and I don't want to pass along wrong information, but I do know that it is much healthier than even the stone ground wheat or the whole wheat, or like flour from wheat berries. So that's that. Then I thought, I always think of my chickens when I'm out and about. They had the pini rigate noodles, and it's all organic because I try to feed my chickens as much organic as I can. Their feed is organic. Yes, it's a little pricier, but that is why I supplement part of it with a lot of scraps and a lot of extra stuff and beans and I've been giving them some of my carrots that are down here on the back of my shelf. They're from 2015. I don't like to eat them. I told you my rule of thumb is after 3 years, it's done. Well, I've been giving that to the chickens too. And so I've been working on that. Down there, the carrots down on my shelf. I only got like maybe 5 jars of them down there. Not very many. But this was on sale because it's outdated. So it was $1 a box. And I thought, $1 a pound, I thought for organic. So I brought it home and I thought, you know what, I'll give it to the chickens. I think they'll like it. I don't think it's whole wheat. It doesn't say whole wheat. It just says 100% organic. And it is certified organic. Non-GMO. So you know what, I thought it'd be good for them too. For $2, I can't go wrong. And then, now that I got all this, I guess you can still see me okay. So with that, you all know I love puzzles. I love doing puzzles. I don't know what it is. It's good for your mind. It's good for your brain. Anyway, I've done puzzles ever since my bad car accident. I was in a horrible car accident. I'm sure I've told that story before. Back in 2000. It was March 10th of 2000. I had to learn how to do everything all over again. Walk and talk and eat and learn, and oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. I went through, about 6.5 years of physical therapy and speech therapy and all kinds of therapy. And it took me, I lost my fine motor skills. I told you that before. That's why I can't sew with little things. A lot of little things I have trouble with because I lost a lot of my fine motor skills. And like I used to play guitar. I played a beautiful guitar. I used to love to play guitar. I played to my kids, everything. Well, I lost that ability after that accident because I did get a closed head injury from it. You wouldn't know it because I was determined that I was not going to blither down the front of my shirt. No, absolutely not. So I did my best to overcome it, and I did. But with that being said, I did puzzles. That neuropsychologist, I believe is what he was, neuropsychologist, he told me, do puzzles, Renee. That, when you do puzzles, that reconnects the nerves in your brain. He says it's the best thing for you. Do puzzles and don't stop doing them. I've never stopped doing puzzles. I do them all the time. Any little bit of spare time I got, I'm doing a puzzle. But that was something. I would never ever wish that on my worst enemy. But you would never know now that I have got a closed head injury. I damaged my left ear, my eye, my speech was damaged, my audio memory only runs at like 5%, And my fine motor skills are pretty much gone. But I did it. I survived, and I learned how to cope, and I'm not on disability. I worked, praise the Lord, I made it. And I bought myself another puzzle. This one is morel mushrooms. You can see. It's so pretty. I'm going to put this together, and I'm going to hang this up. Isn't that pretty, all the morel mushrooms and the trilliums? I love it. I thought, you know what, and it's only 550, so I won't get overwhelmed, because I never do 1,000-piece puzzles. That's just too much. I like the ones that are 550, because they're a nice challenge for me, and I don't get overwhelmed and lose interest. So I got this. Actually, my mother bought this for me. Bless her heart. She says, I'll get that. I'm going to buy that for you. But I'm going to have fun putting this together. But puzzles are good for you. Anyway, so with that all being said, that's my lovely haul. And I got all this at the little Amish store down the road from us. I'm going to do quite a bit of bread videos. I'm gonna make some different breads, and I'm not going to do a video on my trail mix, because I do have a video already on making trail mix. I still have yet to get my seeds planted. Oh boy, I think I'm going to have to do that in the morning, when I get up and get around. Because I was gone all day today. I spent the whole day with my mom, and we had a ball. And it was beautiful out. It's slick because it's icy. It's cool today. And like lately I've rehooked my hose up outside because it wasn't frozen. I mean, 40 degrees, it's not freezing, so my water was running out there, and I could fill their water buckets and just haul it over to the chicken coop. And but today it was because I always disconnect the hose just in case it freezes, and the hose was froze today, so I just used the spigot. Anyway, I'm having a ball with this stuff, researching all this bread, and the sourdough starter and the sourdough bread and the pumpernickel bread is my grandmother's recipe, and that woman could bake. Oh my goodness. I always remember when I was little when my grandma would come visit. Now, I didn't get to see her a whole lot because we lived clear up here and she lived down Port Huron way. And first, for a while, she lived in Ann Arbor, and then I think she lived in Port Huron. So we didn't get to see Grandma Hilda very much. But when she would come around, every single ledge or table or any surface that had any room whatsoever was always full of baked goods. It's a wonder I wasn't this big around, because oh my God, would she bake. And her strudel, oh, it was to die for. And nobody can make anything like Grandma made. We can get it pretty close, but I think it's just the Grandma's love that made it all taste so much better. But boy, could she bake, friends. She baked, and she canned, and she cooked, and oh my gosh, what I wouldn't give to be able to spend a day baking with her, Someday, boy, we get to heaven and we'll be some cooking fools up there, I'll tell you. Anyway, she's probably keeping them all fed and all the yummies up there. In her glory. So, boy, I'm going to have to, I think I'm going to store this out in my sun porch where it's nice and cool, so that I don't need any more of them damn pantry moths. Remember that bout of pantry moths I had? Was that last year or the year before? Now I don't remember. But oh my God, I couldn't get rid of them. They were in a bag of oatmeal. And so I had gutted this place out. I tore everything out of here except for the shelves, but I even moved them out and washed all the walls. I washed it from the ceiling to the floor included. Scrubbed everything down, washed everything down. That's why I like to come in here once a month and keep everything wiped down. But and I haven't had no trouble with them since. I haven't never had another infestation since. And I get them little piss ants or whatever you want to call them in the summertime that get on your counter. Oh, that's enough to drive you nuts. But you know what I found is the perfect cure for them is vinegar. They smell the vinegar and then they lose their trail, so they can't find their way back. They wind up dying. So I've been using vinegar on them in the summertime. It's inevitable. You get them up here. Ants get into everything. But anyway, so tomorrow when I get up, I'm going to do a video on it too, starting my seeds. And then I've got my onions. I always buy onions from the store. And I don't know, most people probably know about it anyway. You get the little scallions and you just, you put them in some water, you cut the ends off, you know, the green part, put them in some water and they start to grow again. And those are the ones I grow every year for the tops. And that's where where are they at? My onion tops right here. That's where my onion tops come from, is all the little scallions that I grow. I cut the tops off and I dehydrate them, and that's my winter supply. So I'm going to plant some of those as well. And my mother asked me if I would plant a little container for her to put in her kitchen. And she's got a nice beautiful window in her kitchen where the sun comes in, so they'll get a lot of sunlight. So I'm going to do that for her too, and I'm going to do a video on that. But those are the only two things I'm doing. I'm not starting any of my other seeds this early because it's too early. I start my seeds here in Michigan because I'm in zone 6B. Yes, 6B or 5B? 5B. I start mine right around the 1st of March. The first couple weeks of March is when I get all my seeds started. And usually I'll put the greenhouse back up. I'll put the plastic back on the greenhouse and get that going, and I'll be doing a lot of videos in there. And this time we got to build some like shelves in there for my flats and stuff. So, but yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to start now is my little Johnny Jump Ups. I didn't get the pansies because I was waiting for a Baker Creek catalog, so I'm going to have to order pansies. I still got enough time to get them, and those take a long time to mature. So I usually start my pansies in February. It gives them an extra month, and then by the time, you know, June 1st comes around and you're ready to plant your flowers, well, you can plant pansies pretty much in a snowbank. So you don't have to wait till June 1st to plant them. But most of the time that's when I plant them, is because that's when I plant all my other flowers. And at that point in time, they're a good size. So I am going to start my onions. I forgot about that. I do have red onions that I need to start early because they take a long time. I think they're 100-day. And so I'm going to start those early and give them a good head start so that I can have onions, you know, right around July, August. And the red onions, I'm growing them for my mother. My garden's going to be real colorful this year because she wants red onions and red cabbage and more purple potatoes. And it's like all the reds and the purples are loaded with antioxidants, and they're wonderful cancer fighters. So that's what she eats, the colorful plates of food, and healthy. The only meat she eats is dark meat from chicken thighs. The dark meat chicken thigh. That's it. Because that is the only part. What did she tell me? And how did she tell me that? I said, why can't you eat the white meat too? And she says, no. She says, she says I could, but she says the only part of the chicken where you get the vitamin K2, I believe she called it, is the dark meat of the chicken, which is the thigh and the leg, I guess. But she eats the chicken thighs, the dark meat. So, what's that? Good for her. I'm proud. I'm pleased. I praise the Lord that I have her, because I wasn't ready to give her up then. Boy, that's rough. God bless any of you. My heart goes out to anybody who's lost their mother, because your mother is the glue in your family. So anyway, friends, I got a couple of things I got left to do today. It's getting pretty late. It's already, I think it's 6 o'clock. I haven't ate dinner yet, but I'm not hungry today. Anyway, so I'm gonna go. I gotta get this stuff put in my pantry, or not my pantry, but my sun porch, where it's cool. I do have a little bit of room left in my freezer now, so I may even keep this in the freezer to ensure that no pantry moths are gonna get in it, at least for 48 hours. I'm at least gonna freeze it for 48 hours, and that will kill any eggs or bugs or any weevils or anything that may already be in it. So there you go. And I am back on track. If you've noticed, you've probably noticed already, I'm back on track with videos, daily videos, except I don't do them on Saturdays and Sundays. I got videos Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday, I take that time to do more videos and get myself prepared for the next week. So, perfect. I got back on track, so things are going to go good. Get back to normal. Now that my husband's back out on the road and I'm home and no more traveling, we're good to go. So, back to a little normal life now. Anyway, so, I'll talk to you more tomorrow when I do my video on my seeds. I mean, it's not going to be a how-to video. It's going to be more like a chit-chat while I'm planting my seeds. Anyway, so I'll talk to you more about that tomorrow and show you how I do those things. And I'll also tell you the different vegetables that you can grow right from the store. Buy them from the store, cut them, and restart them. There's several of them you can do that with. But anyway, I'll talk to you about that when I do the seeds. So for now, I'm going to go. I got things to do. You all have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.